Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, rule web, and the great example to his younger brothers in the truth. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this an edifying lesson, and I got a video to play. So, but before I get the video, I'm gonna read the scripture. And Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson and alarming lesson, man. But how things are going, man. This is the end of this wicked kingdom, and the kingdom of heaven, aka the kingdom of Israel. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is not at hand, man. So now more so than ever, should we be more in the spirit, more studious, more I don't know how to say it. We need to be examining ourselves. You know, I, observe. I forgot. I don't know how to say it. Observant. We need to be more observant. That's how you say it. First and foremost upon ourselves. Observing ourselves, examining ourselves daily. Whether we be in the faith, praying more. If possible, fasting more often. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost on all these things. Especially studying, reading, praying and fasting. I need to be doing that more often, you know. But we in this hustle and bustle kingdom and prices going up on things and different things are happening. But at the same time, those are no excuses, man. Hey, we can't make excuses. We gotta just do what we gotta do and get it done because we can rest in the kingdom. Right now, this is not our rest, you know. But let's get into this and we can play the video. But hey, be on your P's and Q's, so to speak, in the times that we in because Satan is trying to sift and these things are happening because hey, the same way the apostle titled this year, the year of turn up, it's on both sides. The Lord turning up on the wicked and on the right hand side, destroying this place, and the Lord also turning up those demons in the spirit to purge us more, you know, to get all those impurities out of his hopeful men, out of the hopeful elect, and ultimately out of the elect to purge them and make them as those precious stones and as fine gold, you know. But let's get into this. Lord willing, this edifying. This is Isaiah chapter 19, and I'm gonna start at 13. The princes, verse 12, it say, "Where are they? Where are the wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zoan are become fools." And Zoan um is an ancient city of Egypt. One of the ancient cities of Egypt. I forgot. You can go into it on the blue letter. I forgot what it meant. Oh damn! I was just looking at it. But you can go to it. But the princes of Zoan are become fools, and we notice Egypt is ultimately talking about America. It's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about Babylon the Great. The princes of Zoan are become fools, and the princes of No, however you say that, Nof, are deceived, and that word Nof, that was another way, that was basically Memphis. Matter of fact, let's just go into it. That was speaking about Memphis, the capital city of Egypt, Memphis. So let's see what Zoan, a place of departure. That's what Zoan means. It's an ancient city of Lower Egypt called Tanis by the Greek, located in the eastern bank of the Tanitic bank branch of the Nile, the capital of the Shepherd dynasty, built 7 years after Hebron. and existed before Abraham and the dwelling place of the Pharaoh at the time of Exodus. So this was a super ancient city. And Zoan.
Strong's H 6814. Soan. Soan.
Zoan, you know. And there's an ancient city, but let's go back and get the other one, which is no, how do you say that? I don't know how to say it.
Strong's H
Not
5297. Nof.
no,
Nof.
and no is presentable. That's what it means. Presentability, and another name for Memphis, the capital city of Egypt. And that was the point on that. So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 13. Yeah, back in 13. It say the princes of Zoan are become fools, and the princes of Noph are deceived. They have seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribe thereof. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit, and we know this in the spirit is talking about America, man. It ain't talking about ancient Egypt, because that's why the Lord in Revelation 11 and 8 called this place spiritual Sodom and Egypt. It say the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. And that's the times we're coming into, and that's the point I wanted. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Because ultimately, hey, Esau is fast tracking the crash of this economy, man. Hey man, Esau trying to implement his new world order, and we know that he go by as a term called order ab chaos, order out of chaos. So they want all hell to break loose so they can come with their NWO. And I was listening to Deborah Tavares a while back, on one of her old videos, and she was basically going into on how these devils, they want majority of the people in America dead by 2025, man. And we in 2022 now, and they got a lot of people that need to be non-existent um by the ultimately before the year 2025. Going into all these secret country documents, and I wasn't going into it, but she was. Like the scriptures say, the Lord gonna cause their tongues to fall upon themselves. And we know some of these truthers, and they could be jakes, but at the end of the day, they not in the truth, but they go into a whole bunch of different information, going into these things and revealing they people. Because until the angels come in the Lord destroy these people, we could call them Edomites. These, just as these 2/3 niggas, you could call them Edomites, man. You know, these wicked jakes that ain't got no, a lot of these niggas, and you can look at a nigga, that nigga ain't going, even though we don't know, but you can tell, man, cause Jake is through. But the point being, we don't know who these people are. Maybe be heathen. Probably we say heathen, but they could be Israelites. But they tongue falling upon themselves. Put it like that. It say, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. You know. It say, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And that's what's getting ready to come. The Lord is finna fuck this place up, man. The Lord is getting ready to. Oh shit, I forgot. The Lord getting ready to judge Egypt. It's hot, so I can open it though. The Lord getting ready to judge this place. Salaki. So let's go to this video. Um, Play a little bit of it. And this is a video from Mike Adams. You go on Brighteon and go to Health Ranger Report. You can find these videos, and I think this video from last week or sometime. But the point being is, let's go into it. Let's listen.
And it's about a nationwide shortage of 22. This is Mike Adams, and today we've got yet another urgent situation to communicate with you. And this time it's something new, but it's real, and it's about a nationwide shortage of diesel engine oil. So you know how diesel engines have to have three things in order to operate? They've got to have diesel fuel, they've got to have DEF fluid, as is known, or diesel emissions fluid, and then they have to have diesel engine oil. Well, I learned in the last 24 hours that diesel engine oil is going to run out in the next 4 to 8 weeks in America, and that there will be no more diesel engine oil until sometime in 2023. And when I first heard this, I was very skeptical. I'm like, what do you mean? How can they run out of diesel engine oil? But I did some digging and I made some phone calls. And it turns out it's all true. And I've got diesel engine oil retail websites flashing warnings now, confirming the exact same thing. I did some more research into what goes into the manufacturing of diesel engine oil, and it turns out that there are certain additives, such as emulsifiers and anti-foaming agents and antioxidant agents and things like that, that come out of very specific chemical plants, many of them located on the East Coast. And these chemical plants, many of them have shut down and they've declared force majeure. And as a result, the entire supply chain that ends up creating diesel engine oil, that supply chain has collapsed. And there are no more additives available to add to what are called the base oils. The base oils plus additives is what makes diesel engine oil. And so without the additives, you can't make the oil. The oil's running out in 4 to 8 weeks in America. And that means there will be no engine oil for the long haul rigs, the 18-wheelers, no more engine oil for the diesel electric trains, no more oil for construction equipment, for fire trucks, for anything that runs on diesel, ambulances, you name it. No more diesel for UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service. Amazon will shut down. Walmart will shut down. There will be no food in the grocery stores, nothing on the shelves at Walmart unless this problem is solved very quickly. This is going to be a total wipeout of transportation.
Now, there's something that we got to keep our eyes on, man, because the Lord has set us up as watchmen, man. The Lord set us up as watchmen, and we ought to be, ultimately, we got the truth, but we use these truthers to extrapolate what's going on in the earth, you know. So we listen to these devils, man. We watch and pay attention, you know. We listen to Esau. Esau got the information. You ain't got the information. Esau got the time to put in to learning of what the devil doing. Esau got insiders. Esau got these things. We ain't got all that. All we got is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and we sit back and we use the word that's not abusing the word. You get intel from these devils and you filter it through the scriptures, man. You know? That is our job. We ain't gotta go into all these documents. Esau spent years and hours and they just the same time we spend in these scriptures. Esau spend that time plus more researching all these things, all these documents, all these old documents and plans from back in the Esau be looking into this shit, man. You know? So to save us the time, we just listen to this nigga, man. He done did the research, as he gonna say.
In America. It's even worse than that because diesel electric trains carry coal to the coal-fired power plants. And without diesel engine oil, you can't run the diesel electric train.
Now, he just said that it's gonna be gone for a whole year, man. They won't have no more till a year from now, unless something happen. Hey, man, that's why I started at verse 12 or 13, about the princes of Zoan. And hey, cause your presidents, they ain't even speaking about this. They ain't talking about it. You know, your governors and mayors, they ain't talking about it. So somebody gonna have to figure something out. Are they trying to figure something out? No, they talking about shit that don't got nothing to do with nothing, man. Why? Because they are with the crash and the falling of this place, man. They are with it. They are for the crash of this economy, man. You know? And hey, you people that trust in this place, hey, you finna get everything you deserve for trusting in this place and not turning back to your Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And I'm speaking of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. These heathens, they ain't got no hope. They supposed to trust in this. They supposed to be fighting for this. But we chanting this bitch down, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai.
And without the trains, you can't carry the coal. And without coal, you don't have electricity. You have no power grid. So unless something changes, that's exactly where things are headed. And I did some more
So now, like you say, if the trains finna stop, because they need the oil to keep, they need diesel oil. Fire trucks run off diesel. Ambulances, diesel. Let me stop. Ambulances, diesel. 18 wheelers, 16 wheelers, little small freezer trucks. All these different trucks that need that next level of ID driver license to run off what? Diesel. You know. So uh, things that are for the most part that towing used to tow stuff run off diesel. So it's gonna get bad out here, man. The construction equipment, the power plants need the coal. You ain't gonna be able to get the coal to the power plants. Finna get real, man. This is the end of this. This is the end of this setup, man. This beast system. This the end of America. This the end of our captivity, man. That's why we gotta be more in the spirit than ever, man. Paying attention, humbling ourselves, praying, fasting, doing the things that are pleasing to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, kissing the sun, lest he be angry. You know, coming up on another level, man, being more spiritual, man, and less carnal. But hey, it's going down, man. It's happening and it's happening fast.
research. You might wonder, well, wait a minute. How often do long haul trucks have to change their oil? And it turns out that 18 wheelers, which provide, food, consumer goods, everything all across America, all the parts and lumber and everything, they change their oil every 25,000 miles. And the typical 18 wheeler goes about 2,500 miles per week. So it means they have to change their oil every 10 weeks. And another way to look at that is you could say that each week, 10% of the trucks that are on the highways have to change their oil. Each week, 10%. So if you have no oil, even if you start with 100% of your trucks completely fresh, with fresh oil that's good for 25,000 miles, by the end of 10 weeks, you have 0% of the trucks on the roads because you can't run them without clean oil. Or, of course, you tear up the engines and you destroy the whole thing. But since diesel trucks right
Now, a lot of people who own their own trucks and things of that nature, they not gonna do that, man, because they gonna be losing a prized position unto them, man. You know. So they getting all the money they can get and getting ready to hunker down, so to speak, man. They gonna sit their ass down somewhere, you know. If they can't prep up and put back enough to last them for a year, they gonna sit their ass down somewhere, man, and park their vehicles. They ain't gonna tear their engine up to feed a nigga down the street, man. No. And I'm just talking about anybody. I ain't speaking just on black people. They ain't gonna change. I mean, I ain't gonna tear that shit up to feed you Americans, man. Because the love of many gonna wax cold. They gonna be like, man, fuck that. I'm finna park this motherfucker, and everybody finna have to get it how they live. And people in that industry, they see it already, man. So they getting ready, man, for the for it. I would hope, but hey, we talking about Americans here, so they probably like fuck it.
now have different states of oil. In other words, some of them they're due for an oil change in 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. What we're going to see if this shortage kicks in, as all the evidence is pointing to this, you're going to see each week 10% of the trucks taken off the road, and this is going to start, it looks like, sometime in August. And so in terms of rough calculations, then by the end of October or certainly early November, unless this problem is solved, there will be no more transportation trucks on America's highways, and there will be no diesel electric trains running, and there will be no transportation effectively in America, not even barges and boats and ships, because most of them use different forms of diesel also. No construction equipment.
Yep. So everything that run off diesel, I forgot about the barges and different boats and things of that nature. These different things run off diesel. So guess what, man? It's finna get real out here, man. It's finna get real chaotic. It's finna get real hectic. And this economy is finna crash, man.
No tractors, no food production, no farming, no transportation of the food. You understand? Unless this problem is solved, this is a total collapse of society. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And number one, I don't hear anybody in America that's yet aware of this except a couple of people. And people in the industry, they're aware of it, but the masses have no clue that this is about to happen. And secondly, since a lot of the manufacturing plants, the chemical plants, declared force majeure, and there has also been widespread sabotage across the energy industry, pipes blowing up and bursting and refineries blowing up and liquid natural gas ports blowing up, things like that. It looks like there is a controlled demolition takedown of the energy infrastructure. And now they've found a weakness. They found a vulnerability, and that's diesel engine oil. So not only is there scarcity of diesel fuel, which is happening right now on the East Coast, and not only is there a scarcity of DEF.
And he said it's only two places that make this diesel, the components to make diesel oil. And that was Chevron, he said, and one other company. So it's finna get real, man.
Diesel emissions fluid because of, transportation, logistics, supply chain problems affecting the development of urea, which is the main ingredient in that. There's also the shortage of diesel engine oil. So this is going to be catastrophic if it's not solved. I mean a total shutdown of the system as you currently understand it.
Yeah, no work for Egypt. Hey, if the system shut down, that means your job's gonna shut down. You ain't gonna be able to go to McDonald's. You know why? Because they ain't gonna be able to. Every time you pull up, they gonna sell everything they got, but every time you pull up, it's gonna be less and less stuff everywhere you go, man. Why? Because the trucks ain't gonna be pulling up like they should. You may have a few people who truckers and shit who preppers at the same time, and they done prepped up a whole bunch of oil. So when this go down, they gonna make they looking at it like I'm finna make a hell of a lot of money. You know, because shit, I got enough oil for 5 years. For the next 5 years put up. So what they gonna do? They gonna be, shit might slowly come, but it's gonna be few and far in between, man. You know. But we yet to see. We don't know how it's gonna go down. Hopefully, hey, it just shut down. So hey, this upcoming fall is gonna be hectic, man. Fall is gonna be man. It's finna get real out here, man. Like the scripture say, pray that your flight be not in the winter. We know talking about the uh 70 AD, but hey, shit, everything written aforetime was for our learning. Shit finna get bad out here.
Now, what you're about to hear here next in this podcast is about a 45-minute special report that I recorded on this point. I've repeated some of the information that I just mentioned in this special report, but this is being made into a mini documentary, but I'm going to bring it to you here first. The documentary will take a week or something to get done, but I want you to hear this now because I'm citing the sources of where this information is coming from. Yes, it's confirmed. And yes, I also talked to my source for bulk diesel engine oil because we buy oil in 55-gallon drums for ranch and commercial operations. And yes, there's rationing already in place. Okay. So I've confirmed this now from multiple sources. And this is happening. And I don't know of any way that this can be solved. Do you know of a way? Is there some quick solution that you're aware of how to suddenly make diesel engine oil additives? You know, all the dispersing agents, the anti-foaming agents, the anti-friction agents, and all this stuff. Do you know how to make that stuff? I don't know how to make that stuff. Somebody's got to figure out how to make that stuff in order to put it into the oil, in order to have a supply of oil. And that's got to happen in the next 8 weeks, or we don't have oil. And without oil, again, everything shuts down. I mean, fire trucks won't run. Ambulances that run on diesel won't run. Construction equipment won't run. There would be no road repair. There would be no deliveries by UPS, FedEx, United States Postal Service. Amazon.com will shut down because they won't be able to deliver anything. They need diesel trucks to distribute pallets of their inventory from warehouse to warehouse, by the way. And without diesel trucks, they can't even do their own internal distribution of their own internal inventory. So Amazon will cease to function. Walmart will cease to function. Grocery stores will cease to function unless this problem gets solved in the next 8 weeks. It's got to get solved quickly or it's over. So, you know, look, I'm not one to raise alarm over something that's not happening. This is actually happening. And the fact that even I just learned about this is kind of alarming. I was talking to another source today, and they said, oh, yeah, they know somebody who works in the locomotive industry, you know, running the trains. And they told me trains hold something like, what was it, 3,500 gallons of diesel in their fuel tanks, and that they don't have enough diesel fuel to fill the trains. They're not enough diesel. And that's the fuel, not the oil. But if you don't have the fuel and you don't have the oil, what are you going to, you have no transportation, which means, by the way, trains carry fertilizer for, you know, to grow the food, and trains carry coal, like I said, to run the power plants. So it begs the question, how do you survive without a power grid, without fertilizer, without farming, without food, without transportation,
All right, Mike.
without, I mean, had it all figured out, goes over this, you know, go shortage. And months ago, without transportation, and frankly, video.
It's hard to find.
First, here we go.
15
industry that in the transportation industry, functioning economy, attack on the survivability of the human race. And probably they're going to unleash, you know, a global debt fiat currency collapse somewhere during all of this, just to rub it in and kill off another couple of billion people. But we may end up in a situation here very quickly in America, maybe later this year, without a power grid, at least that's reliable, without transportation, without diesel fuel, without diesel engine oil, and frankly, without a functioning economy. You think Joe Biden falling off a bike was funny? Well, that's the metaphor for the entire economy under Joe Biden. So give this a listen. Here we go. Thank you for listening. On top of all the other supply chain disasters that we're familiar with, dwindling food supply, diesel fuel running out on the East Coast, agricultural parts not available at any price. On top of that, we have a new crisis that is the worst of all of these. And I've done a lot of due diligence on this, and it's all true. And I'm going to play for you a 2-minute video first from a gentleman who is involved in the transportation industry. And he's going to explain what this crisis is and why it matters. And then after that, I'll come back and give you more details, sources, and links, and frankly, open admissions within the industry that this is happening. And then we'll talk about the consequences of this, which will be absolutely devastating for not just the United States, but the entire world. So let's start with this 2-minute video first. Here we go.
1540 engine oil, or actually any of the diesel engine oils, are soon to become unavailable. You've probably already noticed that there seems to be some kind of a shortage out there on engine oils. It's hard to find. Rotella, for example, and Delvac are almost non-existent. Well, the reason is because they're literally non-existent. Rotella has announced they're not even producing oil right now. The reason is because they have to have a certain additive package for it to be diesel engine oil. And the two producers of that additive are Chevron and Lipizol. Both of those companies, that's it. They're the only ones that produce the additive packages worldwide. 2 companies. So it doesn't matter what kind of oil that you buy, you're getting an additive package from one of those 2 companies. The problem is that both of those companies are out of those additive packages. They don't have any. And they're predicting that it's going to be an entire year before they're able to come back online and start producing additive packages so all these other companies can produce their oil again. I wanted it to sink in what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you there is going to be no diesel engine oil for an entire year available at all. Period. So unless your truck can run for an entire year on a change of oil, you need to get some oil. Whatever it takes. If you want to continue to operate, you need at least a year's worth of oil sitting in the garage or in the shop. If you're a farmer, get some oil. You need to buy quite a few barrels. I'm going to buy about 16 barrels. It's about what I can afford right now, and squirrel it away. It's going to become the most hottest commodity you've ever seen over the next couple of months. Anywhere from the next 4 weeks to 8 weeks, it's going to go from scarcity to non-existent. Get some oil, get it quick.
So as you just heard in that video, 15 weight 40 diesel.
He said the next 6 to 4. Now that's all on this. We ain't gonna listen to the whole damn podcast or whatever you want to call this shit. He said the next 4 to 8 weeks. So hey man, towards the end of this summer, shit finna get bad, man. It's gonna be real out here, you know. And hey, we looking forward to it, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Lord willing, we can endure these things. And I'm pretty much gonna close it because I don't want to make it too long. Let's get this. This Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. It reads. Let me pull up the Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. It say, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And the keepers of the house are talking about who? Your wise men, your economists, your astrologers, all these different people, your mayors, your presidents, you know. These are the keepers of the house, man. They finna tremble, man, because the Lord just said he matter of fact, let's go back to it real quick. What the Lord say about the wise men? This Isaiah 19 and 12, it say, where are they? Where are thy wise men? Where these niggas at, man? Let's jump into verse 13. The princes of Zoan are become fools, and the princes of Noph are deceived. So the Lord talking shit, because this place is done, man. And that's not just America, all these places all around the world. China and Russia, these different countries, they probably stocked up on a lot of shit, so they ain't tripping. But at the end of the day, nigga, you ain't got next, man. It's over with for this place, man. It say in the day, verse back in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. It say, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low. And yeah, this is gonna make the sound of grinding low. Crop failures, they ain't producing, and also this diesel shortage. They ain't producing food. They not manufacturing things. The grinding finna cease. And then the brother put the video, the brother Yawatazar, Gulf 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 Coast, GMS Gulf Coast, Mississippi House of Judah, roughly paraphrasing how that title. Put up about the Epic Economist on how the housing bubble just popped, man. And they speaking on that. I watched the video already, but they speaking on now on how um that the rate of unemployment is gonna rise in the next couple of years, man. No, the unemployment rate gonna rise this year, man, because shit, that motherfucker ain't gonna pay nobody to just sit around, you know. And say, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And you seeing that, man? You know, the daughters of music are being brought low. That's these fucking singers and rappers and shit of America being brought low. Is all kind of yeah. R. Kelly just got 30 years, man. You know, and still got to go to court on other shit. And Ghislaine Maxwell, this bitch only got 20 years, man. You know, all these niggas getting hit with RICO charges. You know, through can't sing no more. You know, these niggas. Hey man, Lord is not playing with you niggas, man. You Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially who are sold out in this kingdom. Hey, a lot of judgment finna go out, man. The Lord got a severe anger with these people who sold their soul and sided with the devil, man. And you know, but it's gonna continue to get worse and worse. You know, but that's pretty much the point how the grinding gonna cease, man, and how there's not gonna be any work for Egypt. You know, people finna lose their fucking mind, man. It's finna get bad. They already talking about how police ain't gonna come on certain calls, you know, because it ain't enough gas and they ain't got money for gas. It's finna get tragic, uh, very violent out here, man. People finna turn into beasts out here. But that's pretty much the point. I ain't gonna keep rambling. Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone Rule, who have been a great example to his younger brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom. And they, as they always say, these elite, when the people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. Shalom.